Panama and headed towards Galapagos, more than 900 miles away. We were well stocked up with about 100 gallons or 400 liters of gasoline in our small tank and 12 jerry cans, and 130 gallons of water or 500 liters. Our first 24 hours from Panama we made 150 nautical miles. Karen had not been getting her sea legs yet, so I was kind enough to take her first night watch. After 4 days of good sailing, the wind started to drop and eventually forced us to start the motor. It was pretty much expected according to the weather forecast we downloaded before we left. The area close to the equator is known to be very calm, so we were grateful for the miles we had done under sail. 3 days later, we finally made landfall in Galapagos and anchored in Academy Bay in San Cristobal. It took us 7 days and 19 hours in total. Galapagos is very strict and we got a 2-week permit costing us about $200 in total. This was 2007. Today it's much stricter and about 10 times more expensive. Our permit only allowed us to stay on one island, and no matter which island you visit, you're limited to one specific anchorage in one in each island. So exploring Galapagos by your own boat is not an option unless you hire a guide. While on shore, it was time to explore the island. After some hiking, we got to this amazing freshwater pool called Las Gritas. It was very chill and refreshing swim. But you had to be quick when you got up from the water because the vampire mosquitoes were waiting to eat you alive. Galapagos is very famous for its tortugas, land-living turtles. When we were there, Lonely George was still alive, the last one of his species. Lonely George passed away in 2012. These creatures can get over 100 years old. Another animal you will see everywhere is the black iguanas. They swim and eat seafood from the bottom of the sea. And while sitting on the black lava stones spitting, doing that just to get all the salt out.
Since 1995, growing up, same street, you, me, my ride or die. All the years they would grow us apart, yeah. Moved away, but you're still in my heart, yeah. Call you up, how you been? Can we play rewind? Yeah, those are the guys who choose. They don't care, no, like I do. I've been waiting on you. Oh, oh. I've been waiting on you for so long.
Our biggest highlight we have been waiting for was the scuba diving. Galapagos is a big checkpoint for the hammerhead sharks, where you can see huge schools of these 10 to 15 feet creatures. We never saw any huge schools, but at least 3 or 4 of these beautiful animals. The dives we did was amazing and we saw lots of cool creatures.
When the rain couldn't get any clearer, I'm the one holding up all your mirrors, baby.
Hey guys, I'm sitting here right now editing the last piece of this episode and we really hope you like it. And if you do, please hit that like button. It means a lot to us and it also helps us grow this channel. And if you would like to get updates when we post new videos, please also hit that subscribe button. It's the same there, it also helps us grow this channel. And yeah, we're very grateful having you as a viewer. But right now, back to the adventure. After 1 week, we had done it all and it was time to check out. But we were very curious about the biggest island, Isabella. So why not make a sneak stop?
Now you should choose. I've been waiting on you. Oh, oh. I've been waiting on you for so long, and it's killing me to see.
Another very common animal you see everywhere is the sea lion. It might be the first sight when you step into your cockpit. Yeah, the sea lions jumps on board the sailboats without asking for permission, so a good advice is put up some obstacles. An animal you might thought only lived in the colder climates, the penguin, was also a surprise. The theory says it's likely got here riding the Humboldt Current. This is the only place north of the equator you can find penguins. Before we left, we did a good clean on the bottom, just to make sure it didn't have any growth and was prepared for a long upcoming passage. Doing a bottom clean without any tubes is a good exercise and just what we needed. We had an amazing stay in Galapagos. The nature, the animals and the people made good memories for us. Now it was time to say goodbye and move on. It was now time for our biggest adventure, the big passage between Galapagos and Marquesas in French Polynesia, a total distance at about 3,200 nautical miles. This is a trip we estimated would take 3 to 4 weeks. We left and hoisted the sails, let some line and lure out from the fishing rod, and BAM! Big fish! It actually took the whole rod and reel overboard. Poor fish swimming around with a rod and reel dragged after him. So, we had to make our own fishing equipment, made from a piece of wood. Shortly after, the wind died and we had to start the motor. With all the jerry cans and tanks full, we had fuel for about 4 days or 96 hours. 1 day went, 2 days went, 3 days went, and now it's getting really frustrating, looking for the slightest move on the surface if there was any wind coming. Karen was studying Jimmy Cornell's route book over and over to convince herself and maybe me that there was wind somewhere. And no, we did not have any satellite communication for downloading weather forecasts. After about 90 hours of motoring, the wind finally came. It was such a nice relief, and just the feeling turning that noisy motor off and let the wind push us, there's not many moments beating that. With 3 to 4 weeks to go, there was plenty of time to kill, and reading books was probably number one. Well, at least for Karen.